Hey everyone, Steve Young here. The topic of this video is going to be this press release from Volvo Cars. So the title is Volvo Cars Explores Electric Vehicle Charging Network at US Starbucks Stores. So this is the official press release. This was released yesterday. Today is March 16th. And then you have this article here from Jalopnik. And you also have another article, same article here from The Verge. The one from Jalopnik is a little bit more condensed, so I'm going to focus on this one just a tiny bit more. You can sort of ignore the title on this one, but here is what's interesting about it. It's that they are going to install, ChargePoint is going to install DC fast supercharger-like charging stations at 15 Starbucks cafes and up to 60 charging stations throughout this route on the west coast of the United States from, I want to say, from Denver to Seattle. Okay, so that comes out to an average of 4 charging stations per Starbucks. Okay? So when I was reading through this article, so I think, of course, I think it's great. More charging stations is a good idea. We're obviously going in that direction. Placing them at Starbucks is a great idea. People are going to, in my experience, when I stop at a supercharger, my family and I, we use the bathroom, we grab a drink, we get some coffee, we grab a snack. After that, it's like 20 minutes or so. We can usually stretch it out to about 30. If I'm at like a 250 kilowatt charger, not a problem at all. By the time we're done doing those things, again, bathroom snacks, coffee, things like that, it's time to unplug and we move on with our day. Now, these chargers are, I think in the article or in the press release, it said 350 kilowatts, which is wild. Even the fastest Tesla superchargers are 250. It says here that you can go from a 20% charge to 90% in 40 minutes. So I think that's kind of stretching it a little bit, but that's fine. Okay? And then, so you pull in with 20%, you plug in, it immediately starts charging. You go use the Starbucks, you grab a coffee, use the bathroom, etc. And then you come back to your car probably in about 20, 30 minutes or so, depending if you have a family or maybe it's just by yourself. And then you can either unplug and move on with your day and get to the next charging station on the route. I think that they had a map here. No, there's no map. Not in this one. There's a map in this one. Of course, it's not showing up. Yeah, it's not showing up here either. Okay, so there is a map here, but I mean, it's basically like every 100 miles or so. So even if you charge for 30 minutes, unplug, and then you move on with your trip because you don't want to wait, you can still drive another 100 miles and hit your next charger. I don't think that's going to be a big problem. Okay, so what are the points that I kind of wanted to talk on? So I kind of set the stage here. So my initial thoughts, probably as a Tesla owner, my initial thoughts were, and you can kind of see it here. What if I, as a Tesla owner, just out of curiosity, I just wanted to try it. I wanted to make a YouTube video or something about it. I wanted to try one of these stations. And it's a ChargePoint station. And it's branded with Volvo branding and Starbucks branding. I know it's kind of hard to see it there, but that's, yeah, cool. It's kind of hard to see it there, but the ChargePoint, Volvo, Starbucks. So let's just say that I wanted to just use it out of curiosity. my initial thought is that, like, if I pull up to these stations, they have four stations each, and there are a bunch of other EVs, Jeeps, Volvos, obviously, let's say like a Nissan Leaf, a Kia, whatever, and I pull up there as a Tesla owner, are they gonna feel like I don't belong? Is it like an open-minded community? Ideally, I want to say that it's an open-minded community. We're all EV owners, kumbaya, and stuff like that. But the more cynical side of me says that the non-Tesla owners are going to say, what are you doing here? You have your own charging network. Get out of here. Go use the supercharger. And that's what I think. And I think most Tesla owners, just by default, I think that they would just go simply use the supercharger. I'm saying that if I show up, like if I was like 1%, 2% battery, like I had to charge somewhere, this was my only option. I show up, I plug in. Am I gonna get stared at by Volvo drivers, Kia drivers, Jeep drivers, etc.? So that's one of my initial thoughts as a Tesla owner. Okay, so it could create a rift between Tesla owners and non-Tesla owners. Number two, it has this Volvo branding on it. And I think that this is just a tiny bit cynical of me, but I honestly wonder if Volvo will still be relevant in 10 years. Why is Volvo doing this? Um, is Volvo, so number one, obviously, is Volvo going to be successful in rolling out like a full suite of desirable EVs, or is it too late for them already? Okay. So you have these stations with Volvo branding on them. And if Volvo does not succeed in keeping up with Tesla or Lucid or any of the other brands that do pivot over successfully to becoming EV brands, okay? Like the Ford Lightning is doing pretty well. The Kia has some buzz around it. I haven't heard a ton about Volvo EVs. Is Volvo still going to be relevant in 10 years? And do you want this branding here in like 5 or 10 years? Starbucks, of course, is going to do fine. This is a great move for Starbucks because people are going to have to stop in. Um, this is obviously going to increase traffic to their stores. Excuse the pun. Okay, so let's pivot over just a little bit. Let's talk about the stocks in these companies. Before I do that, let's see. And then I think that also this is the official press release. Yeah, here it is. So, pilot installation of as many as 60 ChargePoint DC fast chargers and 15 stores. So, um, that's optimistic. That's if everything goes really well, they'll have 60 chargers at 15 stores. Construction rarely goes exactly as planned. There's always weather issues or employment issues or whatever. If there's anything that the past 2 years have taught us is to be kind of sort of prepared for the unknown. Um, so I expect this number in the real world to be a little bit lower, but let's just say that this pilot is successful. Um, yeah, this is all very nice. Okay, so what do I think about is this a buy signal for Starbucks? I think that this is going to obviously drive more traffic to their stores where these fast chargers are installed. Is it really going to be kind of a stimulator for more growth for Starbucks? I don't think so. Um, I think that Starbucks has grown probably just as much as it can. I mean, I could be wrong. Okay. Is this a buy signal for Volvo? It trades under VLVLY on the over the counter market. Here's my honest opinion. I don't think I think that in order for me to drive a Volvo EV, I would need to get one for free. Okay. That's not a dig at Volvo or anything. I've never really been a Volvo guy. I'm a little bit intrigued by their spin-off brand, Polestar. But even Polestar, when I sat in one at a store in the mall, to me it just screamed Volvo, and I've just never been really a big Volvo guy. Um, ChargePoint by ChargePoint. So I am sort of changing my tune on ChargePoint because of some personal things going on in my life. It turns out in the next couple days, I'm going to have a ChargePoint home flex charger installed right upstairs of me, okay, at my house. I have been using some more of their level 2 chargers recently, some free ones. I've been able to compare it to like Tesla destination chargers, and I've been able to kind of make some more comparisons and some more experience. I've had some more experience with ChargePoint chargers. The big one for me, the big stimulus for me, is that I'm going to have one of these ChargePoint Home Flex chargers installed in my home. My personal investing philosophy is that I will invest in the companies that I use, okay, or that I want to use. So I invest heavily in Tesla. I believe strongly in them. I've wanted their products for years. Now I finally have one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to start getting a ChargePoint HomeFlex charger thing pretty soon. So now I'm starting to change my song on ChargePoint. That one is a maybe. ChargePoint is a maybe for me. Okay. So I thought that this was super interesting. If this works out for everybody, if it's a win-win-win, best case scenario, Starbucks gets additional traffic because people want to charge their cars on this route from Seattle to Denver. You bring in more EV drivers. In general, EV drivers tend to be kind of in a higher tax bracket than ICE drivers. Okay, just generally speaking, as it is right now. So hopefully this drives more traffic into Starbucks stores. This should be a win for, let's go back to this. This should be a win for ChargePoint. They're going to have demand for more of these stations, according to one of these articles. Oh, right. According to this this Verge article. There it is. Okay. So a DC fast charger can cost somewhere around $100,000 and $250,000. That was news to me. I did not know that. So that installation could cost up to $250,000, and we're looking at possibly 60 of them. Let me just do some really quick math here. 250,000 times 60, that comes out to $15 million. Okay, and that's, I guess, best case scenario for ChargePoint. 15 million. 15 million? Is that what I said? And that could be going straight to ChargePoint. Another question that I sort of had is that for me, as kind of an EV driver for sure, but according to this picture, I don't really see any parking lines over here. And, don't get me wrong, I understand that this is just a promo picture. The real deal is obviously going to look different. But when I think about this kind of charger, you have two charging plugs here, two charging cables. This one station is intended to refill two cars. So how do you use it according to this illustration? Do you have one person back up like this and another person back up over here so that both of them can use these chargers? Do these charging cables stretch? Because in my experience, these charging cables don't stretch. Some of the level 2 ChargePoint chargers, they do come with like this extension cord thingy. I don't really know how to describe it. If you know it, then you've seen it. But this one in this illustration, this one, I don't see it there. This one does not stretch. Okay. I think the best way that you're going to be able to use something like this, and this is a picture of a Tesla supercharger that I actually visited. This is not my photo. This is from PlugShare, of course, as you can see right here. But what I want to point out over here is that this setup allows a Tesla driver to park over here and use this station, and another driver to park over here and use this station. And this parking space over here, they get this station. And this driver over here, this black Model 3, they're using this one. So what I'm saying is that you need to have kind of back-to-back stations. So just imagine that this station is replaced by this one, then yes, in that particular setup, you can have one person, you can have this person charging here using this top charger, and someone that parks over here, like back to back, trunk to trunk, using this one. Then it's feasible. Then you can do that. Um, so, there are going to be engineers that are much smarter than I am that are going to be working on this. That's one of the issues that I saw. Again, I know that this is a promo photo. In the real world, do things really look like this? Beautiful palm trees and a ChargePoint station right out front in the front of the store. I mean, is this actually feasible? Is this practical? I don't think so. Um, so it's probably going to be like there's probably like a parking lot or something back over here where they're going to put the chargers. That's probably how it's more likely going to look, not plop down directly right in the front of the middle of the street in front of the store. That's probably not feasible. Okay, so I think that wraps it up for this one. So again, would I buy Starbucks stock because of this news? No. Would I buy Volvo stock because of this news? No. Would I buy ChargePoint because of this news exclusively? No. But I would buy it because I have some new developments in my own personal life, whereas I am beginning to walk the walk a little bit into being a believer in ChargePoint. Okay. I will throw a card up here where I talk about kind of ChargePoint versus Volta. And at that time, what I said was I wouldn't invest in them, but now I'm beginning to learn that I'm going to get this Home Flex home charging station. So that's probably the big catalyst for me. Okay, my name is Steve Young. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.